Oh, I got you. You know, I like to let that music just slide on there for a little bit, just a little bit. Happy Wednesday. Go ahead and let it play just a little bit longer, because it's Wednesday. That music right there, if you know how that type of music can do you, right? It gets inside you and it just makes you feel good. Food, a home cooked meal on a cold Wednesday night. Welcome to Rix Room, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Mr. Rick, and we have the week yet again. Just two more days until exactly. We're almost there. We're almost there. So thank you for swinging by the room this evening to hang out with me and my guest co-host. We'll get to her in just a second. But I want to make sure that you are tuning in with us in several different aspects at IntellectualRadio.com, as well as there on Facebook or YouTube, live stream there, Listbreaker, and just in case you happen to miss it because you got something going on Wednesday night, maybe you got a step a set to go to or something, whatever it is, always catch us at iHeartRadio under Talks, under the podcast room there, and you can catch up on the show. But we'd like you to listen live, to live stream with us and be a part of the show. We really encourage you, 822-223-8953 to give us your comments on the topic that we're talking about this evening. And we just love to talk to you about Rix Room, and that's how we do here in the room. So definitely got to make sure that you get a chance to go over and check out. I think I posted this actually in the Facebook. Check out some of our sponsors and the promotions that they're offering, the things. Definitely want to start off with Mind Over Matter sponsoring the show for this evening. Some of you all may remember Mr. Corky Henderson coming by the show. Mind Over Matter, he got a whole team over there offering holistic health and wellness services that focus on healing the whole you, mind, body, and offering the 20% off refreshing moments, 20% off refreshing moments back from now until December 23rd, just by mentioning Rix Room during your initial correspondence at www.momonline.us. That's www.momonline.us. That's what they're doing over there. Not one of those facials. I have not done it yet. Now I wonder, listen, over matter. If I happen to come in on my initial Rix Room, do I get the 20% off too? Yeah, I think that might be a thing. I gotta look into that, but definitely swing by out at www.momonline.us. And this show is also being sponsored by the Family Institute at Northwestern University, specializing in co-parenting workshops and one-on-one therapy sessions. If in the event you or someone you know needs a little help with co-parenting is a thing. If in the event you couldn't work out in a relationship, but you got kids, co-parenting is definitely something that you should and in tune with. So check out the Family Institute at Northwestern University, www.family-institute for more information. Our followers and friends know a great organization, a Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And with representing that organization, there are 8 other organizations that are involved with the National Pan-Hellenic Council. We got to make sure that we're representing each other and showing love for each other. So special shout out Founders Day to the men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, who just celebrated their 11th. Yes, we know, the first Black Greek lettered fraternal organization on collegiate campus. But shout out to you guys, Fraternity Incorporated. Congratulations on 111 years. And even to the gentlemen of IPI down at SIUE, where I attended. Anybody specifically that crossed between 90,001, shout out to y'all, IPI. But hey, community, we appreciate what you do and what you're doing. And then a special shout out to our pastor right over at West Point Missionary Baptist Church, Dr. L. Bernard Jakes, who really just all about Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated and all the men that our church there who organization. So shout out as well. Tonight's topic. And I'm really glad that I have the honor of having a wonderful tonight. Somebody y'all, she doesn't even know it, but I'm a really big fan of what she does in house as a person. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce herself to you. Welcome to the show, who you are, where you come from, and what you got going on.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
Say a little bit about myself. Again, my name. I am a licensed counselor, state of Illinois.
Yes.
So I help all kinds of problems, depression problems, marital problems, at a private practice by the name of Help. My private practice, but is run by a wonderful woman. He is looking for information on how to help. No, I can online, so you guys have that. I will be next month.
Yes.
Getting my PhD in counselor education and supervision. Writing for me, it's going to allow me to do what I love, the just African American women they have, and how to uplift and empower them, which is where my passion lies. I'm not originally from Chicago. I'm originally from Ohio. Go Buckeyes.
Oh, okay.
I've been here for a long time, so lifestyle and yeah, about me.
How long have you been?
I've been here. I think it's going on 11 years now. Yeah, we are in the 10th year, so next year it'll be 11 years.
So we got Marlena here with practicing almost at her doctorate, almost just one more month. Grab before it's all said and done, but doing bigger things outside of that. She's a phenomenal vocalist, a wonderful, well-rounded human being, and an honor to have on the show. It's a privilege to have you. I'm humbled and honored to have you. Thank you. We're going to get into a topic tonight that's near and dear to both of us, I think. We have going on, and to do that, I want to make sure that we got to have your adult beverage. Cheers to Happy Hump Day. Yeah. All right. This is what we do. Beautiful, says Rix Room, Monica Schulch, and adult beverages. So, Miss Alicia Red, you can catch her here at Intellectual Radio. Every other radio for the community and Congress need to have. Maybe I should get you all introduced. She would love you. Gifts, sis, I appreciate it, and introducing me. Y'all don't see Mr. Earl back out good here at Intellectual Radio, but Mr. Earl's back there as always. And let's get into the topic. So tonight, before my bad. Not only is this a radio show, but we got some people viewing us live.
Yes.
So all of our Facebook viewers over there.
Hey guys.
What's going on Facebook? Live with us at NLM or YouTube. Right over there. We're going to say hello to y'all. What's going on? Hey, good to see you again. Thanks for swinging by Rix Room. Well, tonight, we are talking about sexual harassment. About sexual harassment and going on. What's really going on with the sexual harassment? Because y'all know it's been all over the it's news. We allegations. Weinstein. I've been working on since Weinstein. Somewhat of about 34 sexual misconductions take place. So let me ask you. Let me get your opinion on this, because this is some comments. Paying attention. I put Marlena in charge of. Y'all know I can't do it. So take a look at the comments and try to keep up with what you all are saying. Please understand, though, on Facebook, we're going to try to keep up as best as we can. Yeah. It moves kind of quickly, so if we happen to miss your comment, we're so sorry. Give us 223. That's 708-223-8953. Call in, share your comments, talk to us about your so 34 at least, and all different facets of occupations. Yep. Right. Start off with this, Marlena. How do you feel about how this thing is being handled?
I think the time coming
Mm-hmm.
for things like this to come up. Oftentimes when, and I'll give this precursor, and only because that a woman is going to be a victim of sexual harassment or assault than a man, but also understand that men can also be victims
Sure.
of. Um, and when women experience these things, paid off, they are told, it's just part of the culture. You're being too much of a prude.
Mm-hmm.
Lighten up a little, and so these things, and they go in these work environments, and they feel and they feel that don't say anything until speak out. So when this is why we have an influx of women like, oh, me too, me too. So I think though it's sad that these things happen. Um, it's just been a long time coming, and it probably won't see an end to for a little while until shifts.
So, we have a lot of things now that come to the forefront. We have social media. Technology allows people to be able to speak up. So, and I think that's definitely a push. Hey, Mama P, I see you tuning in with us on live stream, Facebook. What's going on? But I know that with the technology, we have opportunities. We have avenues now to speak up, right? And you make a very good point that women, but it's men, right? We look at the Hollywood actors who have had these allegations, and what Kevin Spacey has had, allegations of from that he's been conducted with. Is that what? Sure, right, inappropriate. Inappropriate with. So right. We got all of that going on, and it's across the board. It's all over the place. But now so many more.
Right.
Okay. So let's kind of get into why not only now, but what gives the comfortability to say, all right, just because you said it happened to me, now I can speak up about it too. Why now?
I think there's a few reasons. Access, like you pointed out, we have media news outlets to get that story. Also, I think that it's just an awareness in certain behaviors that we dismissed or thought was okay, they're not okay. And so we're empowering people to be able to speak out. There are more organizations or on a large scale that are saying, we're here to help, we're here to support you. I can't remember the organization, I think it or something like that. But it's backed by a lot of professional athletes, and there are commercials of these professional supporting their little sisters or their moms or their aunts, so that men are supporting women and men should support women more. About an awareness that women can have a voice, and that you're not alone in this situation.
Okay. You hear? I was trying to go through. Shout out to Mr. Al Young, who helps produce Rix Room and making sure that the Rix Room
what
is
up, big brother?
Right. You know what I mean? It's he does make sure that we get all in the details to talk about it. And I remember just recently, right? Russell's all across Simmons.
Yeah.
Had to step down.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess for me, I'm at a point now where I'm like, or do you personally, like, it's just individual bandwagon? I mean, it's almost to me like it reminds me of in an era where the Catholic deal with this with the priests.
Yeah. Being that I am a counselor, I have a lot of experience working with survivors and victims of statistics. In regards to violence, particularly sexual violence, the statistics on false rape cases or accusations, I believe the numbers are less than 10, which means that come forward and say, hey, this happened to me. they're telling the truth. Doesn't leave out the fact that there are people who are going to jump on the bandwagon. Somebody like a Russell Simmons or Harry Weinstein, people who have access to lots of money. Maybe I can get a few situation. But more often than not, coming up, they actually are speaking the truth. And I think it's also important to highlight those individuals that are jumping on the bandwagon. You know, it definitely puts a damper in actual victims and makes it harder for them to heal and they need, and for the perpetrators of these crimes to actually be held accountable.
Yeah, yeah. And so do you think that there actually could potentially, some recourse that could take place for this? You have people that have been waiting for so long to even come out. Is there a time frame there that happened?
I'm not entirely sure if for sexual there's a time frame. Certainly for any kind of allegations of molestation, statute of limitations on that. And so who knows if anything will happen at this point. I know for some of the people coming forward, just the fact that they were able to is important.
Right. About you, but it looks like we got a caller who's tuned in and calling in the Rix Room. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know who this is on the line.
Hi, hello, good evening. My name is Miguel Trujillo, and I was listening to your show right now. Well, actually, I was watching it, following you live on Facebook.
Hey.
What you got going on there?
Well, I mean, it's all over the news, right? So we had to bring it up. What's your opinion? What you got? What's your thoughts?
It's just something that we've been bombarded with, state senators and Hollywood monarchs, sexually harassing women and everything, and I. You in your show where you said something that you felt that with why now jumping on the bandwagon and everything, I feel that it's an going on. I feel that we live in a culture and a society where men, we've been extremely complicit and okay with it to perpetrate to devalue women. It's a culture. Sad to say it is, but it's not okay. But
yeah,
I guess that's why these people have that thought process that it's something, because their status.
And you're right. We do live in a society where, unfortunately, it's looked at as an okay gesture or an okay movement. Just it's okay to have it done women because of the patriotic society that we live in. Mm-hmm. And it is unfortunate that that's the case. Living in a society where we're able to start voicing that and moving around that. So, and you're right. It's happening not just in the film industry, but because of the statuses, as Marlena said, these individuals who've had money in the past and now to buy people off.
Yeah. With a coworker of mine, a good friend of mine also. What's his name? Franken. He's putting these women while they're asleep. Yes, it's not acceptable, but at the same time, the guys in that airplane and the guys taking the picture, they had a lot of responsibilities too. They could have stopped them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The person.
To what I said, we live in the culture where
and taking the picture could have definitely been accountable. Miguel, thank you so much for calling in, man. I appreciate it. It sounds like you're in the car heading home, so we get you tuning in. We're going to get you on this show eventually too. All right, sir?
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right, take care. Yo, so he's absolutely right. There's facets that this is taking place, a lot of different areas. In fact, so
Yeah.
but Rahm Emanuel's brother, right here at home.
Has no limitations. From the highest options, obviously, from churches to the boardroom to your own home. And in either arena, it's unacceptable. And it's also good that, down and saying like, hey,
Right.
it's not what women deal with. And, let's talk about that. We can stop it all together.
So I don't know if you got a chance to view we did an episode in Rix Room about domestic violence when we were at awareness. And it was about men being victims too. And you're right. The fact that there are men who are speaking up about being harassed by men. But I wonder if there's some men out there who are willing to say that they got sexual. Has that been a case yet? I don't know if I've seen that case yet. Is that a thing? Do we have that out there yet?
I haven't heard anything.
I know, right? Like, I mean, because for all the heterosexual viewers out there, men who like or enjoy, I don't know if that's a fantasy or whatever, but, like, I would a case where men would come out about being sexually harassed.
I will say, so you did shout out our pastor a little bit earlier, and he has spoken out about, unwanted touching and attempts by women to kiss him and things like that. So,
so I was wondering if it's something that's in a church setting, like because it can happen.
Yeah.
Whether you're an employee of the church or you're in a real position and you have unwanted advances by your members, both men and women, or vice versa, you get unwanted advances by individuals in authority, choir director or the deacon, or what goes unreported in churches.
A lot of it goes unreported. Particularly in Black culture, we don't like to air our dirty laundry.
Man, listen, and it's killing us.
Yeah,
right?
Literally.
Because we don't want to air. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Oh, you're right. We don't want to air our dirty laundry. So
if you a little bit too long, kisses you on the cheek. Oh, it's probably what make sure you have thicker pantyhose. We're just
very dismissive.
And so it's not only is it killing us, but it's continue to try to take power over people who don't belong to them.
Yeah. And listen, if you have some opinions, I see you kind of, we got a couple of comments here going on, or people just with us on Facebook. Definitely call in 708-223-8953. I also want to let you all know, check out Color Struck Polish, ladies, if in the event, or men, if you happen to rock the nail polish. If you're interested in the new luxurious nail polish brand that's less harsh on your nails, Color Struck Polish is perfect for you. Less toxic than some of your major market brands, and doesn't leave the damaging effects of gel nails while offering 35 eye-catching colors. Find out by visiting www.colorstruckpolish.com to find out which color strikes you. That's Color Struck personally. You know what? I got to check with Ms. Talk to me about clear. We'll talk about clear later, because I need, that's a good color, if that's a color at all. What colors that come out and what they got going on, you can check out their contact information also in the post. So we have these issues, these allegations coming out now in our society, because we have the avenues to voice them, to vocalize them. And you being in the industry that you're in, I'm sure that there's some cases that the issue is sexual harassment. Let me ask you, because I work in a corporate American environment for a long time, I'm a fan. I'm an advocate for what HR does. Individuals while they work. Right. Shout out to any capacity in any of my past previous employers. I am a fan of what HR does. They have a responsibility to ensure that people are comfortable. And no matter what industry you're in, no matter what you're doing, you have to be comfortable. You're spending 8+ hours a day, and you're spending it with people that you have to see consistently, right? So you need to be comfortable. You're supposed to be comfortable. Let me ask you this. Why do you think that so long?
Yeah.
Yes, I got a great question from Ronnie. I love it. Yes.
It's reasons. Very quickly, I'll share a personal story. This is ironically the 11th year, speak of a sexual assault I experienced.
Oh, wow.
While in undergrad. It was something that I didn't really talk about. I have my public Facebook page, but I openly because there's so much pain wrapped up in it, and because it was mishandled when I police officers did all the things that I was supposed to do to get the help that I needed. Back then when it happened, they didn't have laws in place the way they do now, and I think a lot of people coming forward afraid that, you know, right after it happens, if I say something, I won't get roles. If I'm working at a job, they might fire me, and this is the way that I take care of my kids. Or they won't believe me because this kind of stuff isn't believable to our culture in some ways. And so people will take years to reveal these kinds of things because there's fear, there is mistrust in the system, and also a concern that, you know, if I come out, who's going to protect me after me? If they try to sue me, if they try to attack me,
right.
What do I do? So it's not unusual for people to wait so long to speak out about it.
And so and maybe you can kind of guide me through this. I wonder if that feeling in men and women. I feel like with women there's a mindset of I'm not protected. I'm not going to be. It's not going to be. I wonder if men who feel or who are victims of, you know, sexual harassment are in that same mindset.
Yeah. Different from men. One, because again, I talk about culture a lot. I talk about my clients.
It makes sense.
It's a big deal.
Right, it is. Right,
it's how we live. It's how we dress. And so I think for men, it's to say you harassed. Like, what's wrong with you? Do you not like it? Like, do you not turn up?
Man, you couldn't stand up for yourself.
Right. But this little lady is touching on you, and
well, but even if it's a man, like, you know,
and then you have all these, you know, if somebody is unfortunately homophobic or something like that, then you have all of these things, and you're afraid of that. Like, will somebody think, you know, something about it? So I think that men share the same men have the same feelings that women have. They're just not encouraged to express them in the way that women are.
Right.
So if they have these feelings, then they likely and say too, you know, I didn't want someone to look at me like, touch you like that? What do you mean? Or, you know, you didn't like his hat or something like that. Physical contact. It
really is. And we got a comment by Katie Priscilla there. What is Katie Priscilla saying?
So she's saying that I think people wait until there's someone else they can identify with, which is absolutely true. And I talked about, and so having people who are grouped together and saying the movement was huge.
I know, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, that Me Too movement was huge. Let's go ahead. We got another caller. Let's go ahead and take that. We'll get back to that in just a second. And then I hope you got your adult beverage here with us. Who's calling in? Talk to me.
This is Rix here.
Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the man. Oh, man. Senior. He's just big Rick. But what's going on, Bob? What's happening?
Listen, I was catching the show. I think you guys, you're probably going to do 2 or 3 parts from many different schools. One thing I just do want to ask, advocate for a while, one of the biggest problems, and will not
man up and admit we are not in control as much as we think. So to get in some situations, parts of our body dictates what we do next. Lend it the situation. But I won't hold up. I just want to say good job, keep on going, and get 2 or 3 parts.
Right.
Well, hey, listen, and so for those of you who may have heard, I've said this before. This voice that you hear is definitely a reflection of that man. Wow, I did get this honestly. Then I appreciate it. And quick, just go ahead and shout out for me. What you got a show going on?
Yeah, we stream live on Friday evening on the Bridge of Light Radio Network. Cast the talk show. To join us today at Heart to Heart broadcast, Heart to Heart, 3 p.m. until 8 p.m.
Central Standard.
Radio Network.
Information from you so I can make sure to post that. Bob, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. Listen, y'all, I didn't put him up to this, all right? Just so let me put that out there. I did not put my old man up to him calling in, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You guys have a good one.
All right, take care. Yeah, he brings up a great point.
Absolutely.
Right?
Power.
Power.
One of the important for any victims, we might have some individuals watching or tuning in or listening may have been victims of sexual harassment, and understand that the individual who harassed you, their actions were based on standing of their own power. Abuse oftentimes is about power, necessarily just about the arousal. It's, I have control over this person. I can dominate them. And so I often talk about in my circles the fragile male ego.
Oh, because it is.
It's so fragile. And we kind of made it that way. Address that and let men know and understand that it's okay for you not to have control over intimate parts, whether it be male or female. It's okay for you to not times to hurt and want to shed a tear or two. Then we would have, I believe, of individuals trying to exercise their power and dominance in the form of sexual harassment or domestic violence, as we mentioned earlier, things like that.
That's like my old man said, that potentially could be part for the next session conversation of this discussion. I'm gonna have to write that down for a movie. I want to get into something too, because I think that with this, and I appreciate this conversation that we definitely need to have to get out there. But again, thanks for tuning in on there and YouTube and all back there. Real quick before I get into this next question that I have for you, make sure you all are calling in with us at 708-223-8953. And if you haven't gotten a chance to do so yet, make sure that you swing by the Bureau Bar with your host, Mr. Jeff Timms. Now, listen, they got on Sunday, y'all, they got a 3 to 5 on Sunday, located at 75 East 16th. Like I said, they got from happy hour from 3 to 5, but they're running till 12 a.m. Soulful music stylings from Fathom DJ starting at 5 p.m. and enjoying one of our other sponsors. We'll talk about them in just a second. They generally swing by from 6 to 9. Delicious food. All night from 3 until 12 at the Bureau Bar, Sunday's Affair with your host, Mr. Jeff Timms. Mention Rix Room at the bar. You receive half off your first Sunday's Affair at the Bureau Bar on Sunday. Listen, if you got something to do on Sunday, if you have nothing to do on Sunday, run by there and check them out. One of these days, we're going to get over there and do a live stream as well. It's a good time over there. They're doing big things and some fun. So when we talk about the whole issue of sexual harassment, and again, like I said, shout out out there. Any of my HR folks that are watching or listening live, what you all do. I've been in a similar or parallel capacity, but I understand the effort to protect individuals while they're at work, they happen to be working in an HR position at church or whatever the But let's talk about what the definition of harassment is. Harassment, because some of y'all don't know.
Right.
Some of y'all really don't
clear.
know what harassment is. We can speak about sexual harassment if we want to. Specifics don't know what harassment is.
Yeah.
My guest what is a definition of harassment?
Any kind of unwanted verbal, sexual, anything. Email can also be, because people still use their email or text, or a new thing now with social media is dropping a picture or two in somebody's so yeah, so that also includes visual then. So exposing yourself that's inappropriate, touch a way that's unwanted, or sending some kind of unwanted or unsolicited message or connotation to it, something considered harassment.
Now, this is a great thing. Harassment differs by race. Oh, y'all, listen, if y'all can't see, some of y'all are just watching, but some of y'all, if you're listening, she just had a whole sigh. She had to sit up and then exhale about how, and this is probably about to go off on a passion about, because I think I'm right here with what let me pose that to you. Is there a difference or even perception based on race?
Certainly.
More perception.
There is no difference in definition. Truth is a truth. So but if we talk about culture, you have certain races who shall be left unnamed that like to have videos or songs, particularly of a certain genre, that encourage women inappropriate, grabbing men inappropriately, that over sexualize men and women, sometimes even children. So the from these visuals that we're getting is that, oh, women want to be grabbed. They want to be touched like this. Or a man, if he has his shirt off, that's an invitation for me to touch on him. Indeed, it's a video some artist thought was authentic to whatever their music was or their venue. And it doesn't mean that that behavior is okay across the board.
Do you find that you know, and it sounds like you don't want to mention specific cultures, and that's fine. We'll leave that there. But ideally, there is a difference.
The reason I'm not mentioning specific cultures, and we only have so much time.
I almost want to kind of to peel that onion back. But I get it. Well, without having to go on a tangent, if you want to go on that tangent, we got a little time to be able to go on that tangent. But let's go and explore that. So go ahead. What is that tangent? What do you got you? Like how the perception differs.
In Black culture, we encourage a plethora of inappropriate things. Mm-hmm. And treatment of our women when it comes to the way we address and respect our men, to the way we rear our children. A lot of things that are norms that we've accepted, whether by me, this is a little dissertation shout out here. Get it out. Of things we pass on and carried on from slavery, which you pass on genetically. Yeah.
Really?
Pass on traits and things from slavery. Our ancestors who experienced slavery, those characters, and we can conduct this because of slavery. So actually, Dr. DeGruy, Dr. Joyce DeGruy, wrote Slave Syndrome. It's a great book. If readers check it out, and it talks about the things that we pass down. It talks about why there is such a much conflict between Black men and women because it was conditioned. Why we have the light, why we downplay our children's accomplishments, because if a child was seen to work well and be strong, they were sold.
Mm-hmm.
And if a parent didn't want to lose a child, they would downplay the child's behavior so that they could keep them close. So even after all of these years, we still hold on to some of the terms of harassment. I think that a lot of our movies and the way we portray characters in the media, it does us a disservice, and I think we need to change it.
Wow. I hope you all caught all that, because, and please, by all means, please run that back several times if in the event you are just tuning in. Check that out. Wow, that's going in the dissertation too?
It's in the
It's
dissertation.
being published? Because
It is going to be published.
I definitely got to get a copy of that. Before we continue on, you check it out. The Cookout on Wheels, as I mentioned earlier, the Cookout on Wheels is over at the Bureau Bar. There for your holiday parties as well. So if in the event your food festivities, your food planned for the festivities coming up here for the holiday season, they got choices like barbecue turkey, 6 cheese mac, and peach cobbler. Let me tell you, this whole menu selection that the Cookout on
It sounds good.
Remarkable. When you make sure you give the Cookout on Wheels a call at 630-708-7820, or go ahead and visit them on the cookoutonwheels.com with any questions you may have. Go ahead and receive 20% off for being one of the first bookings for December. We are in December. I don't think that they've gotten to, but you still can receive 10% off of your items or selection. Or go ahead and find them on Facebook as well, or give them a call, 630-708-7820. So, we talk and potentially be a cultural thing. What about the fact that it's transcends culture? Like, this is an issue as we're seeing, transcends culture. It's all over the place. So are we now looking at it, or do we need to look at it now from a of the male-dominated society?
Patriarchal, that works too.
We'll call it that.
Absolutely.
But see, I don't know if I would call it a patriarchal, because calling it a baby that it's male towards female, that are still taking place man to man or same gender.
Absolutely.
Right? And I don't think that where a woman has come out about a sexual allegation or harassment from another woman.
I don't think that happens too, though.
Sure.
Definitely happens.
I'm sure it does. Why do you think that we haven't had that come out yet?
Again, I think it goes back to the perception of how this is going to be. If I am, we're still trying to accept the LGBTQ. Their letters, but I'm just going to say the ones that most people know.
You're better than I am. I stop at the LGBT.
Okay.
LGBTQ, I'm sure there's a couple of other letters.
Yeah,
shout out to my LGBT.
I think.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. As much as Rix Room is dedicated talking about issues that are around the stereotypes and one of those stereotypes, diversity, and my LGBTQ family, I think that those are topics that should be discussed. But I'm sorry, please continue.
So because there's less acceptance for people of different backgrounds and such, it's more difficult for a woman to say, oh yeah, I was touched by another woman, and just like we talked about with male on male. When you go to gender roles, roles have been ingrained into our society since the beginning. Some of them I feel, if you want to look at nature versus nurture, are sometimes we have a tendency to do things based on gender, based on who we are. Other things are dictated, they're created, so that's more of the nurture. Before children are even born, is it a boy or a girl? Pink. Right. I hate pink.
Really? I actually like pink. Do with me being a part of the LGBTQ family, I'm just, pink is a good. It looks. It does look good on
Very
black men,
good.
right? And it looks good on some white men too. In fact, it looks good on some Hispanics.
Yes. That. But we indoctrinate these beliefs that, you behave in this way. And so when you tell strong and dominant and hypersexual, then they learn that and they're to test the waters. And so let me see if I can assert dominance over this woman and then this one. And oh, what about this person here? And oh, maybe even a man too, because I really, pun intended.
Now going back to the men of Alpha Phi Alpha, we did that already. All right, thanks.
Is a gender issue in addition to culturally.
I think when it comes to, again, the conversations that we could potentially continue to have around, all of what is, I guess, having, and I don't want to take anything away from the issues that are there, the issues that are coming up, and the fact that this needs to be addressed, right? Mm-hmm. Let me just make sure, Mr. We only at 7 because it's been there for a minute. Make sure we have the right time. So, a lot of talk around the harassment that's taking place, right? But I wonder, that's being thrown out to the masses. Is this something that all of a sudden is coming up and in remarkable numbers every time? It's almost like and I was talking to a coworker today. It's almost like we were talking about. I don't know if y'all remember free nighttime minutes, nighttime and weekend minutes. Yes. We were doing some throwback conversations. We were talking about, don't call me.
Call me after 9.
Call me after 6. I got free nights and weekends. Don't call me to my daytime minutes or roll over me. Shout out Brianna for that conversation. But we were talking about so much. There's so many allegations coming up that I can't keep track. It's all when we had all of the conversation, all of the media broadcasts about the men or black women being killed. It was overwhelming. We got it. Is this a ploy for us to take our eyes off of what's going on in the rest of the world? What's going on in what our administration is currently doing that's behind? It's a magic show trying to feed us so that we're missing out on a lot of other things. Like happened all throughout the election process, right? We heard about Trump's sexual harassment allegations, right? What happened to Bill Cosby?
What happened?
Bill Cosby, he got persecuted for this.
He did.
Now we heard not a nary bit of what happened to Bill Cosby happened to all of the individuals that this is taking place with, right? No. Not a little bit.
And if it bleeds, it leads. Meaning.
Write that down, y'all. No, that came from.
If there's blood involved, if it's a hot story, then it's going to be the hot topic.
I think at the end,
probably
blood on the street or something like that.
Something like that.
Right,
there we go. And so I think the media is a distraction in general. They cater to the things that they're either paid to. Some political candidate encourages them to what society gives them ratings. Some of it is highlighted more because, this is a hot. So like Bill Cosby, that's a big deal. Bill Cosby was America's favorite dad for so long. All these allegations come out and it's, so let's talk about it and let's get more people. Let's interview. Same thing with a lot of who have either come out personally and said, yes, I was in the wrong or have been accused. I won't say a distraction necessarily, but it definitely is being pushed more perhaps than it should. Going on in our country right now.
So much.
It's a nightmare.
There's so much. It takes away from North Korea, right? We just had the president decide that he was moving. What was it? Moving something of Jerusalem to make that, to identify that as the capital.
Jerusalem is the capital, yeah.
Right.
So
The
there's
tax bill.
slavery happening in Libya right now.
Right.
And all of these things are being swept under the rug. And I think that we have, they're very calculated about what they don't do.
Of course.
So yeah, let's push these things in the forefront, so we can present our alternative facts. And
yeah, right. Wait, and speaking of alternative facts, so I've been watching this thing about the whole Jerusalem being the capital of Israel, and I think it's being broadcasted as Jerusalem being the capital of Israel, but I don't think that was the case. I think he moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem to identify his support of Jerusalem. Because to me, I was looking at that, I'm like, how can the president of the United States decide that the capital of a whole nother country, now another city? Like, what arrogance is that? Don't get me wrong. It's possible in current situation, right? I think it was portrayed as he was claiming Jerusalem to be Israel, and that's not the case. That he was saying that he was moving the embassy, the United States embassy, over to Jerusalem. But all of that is taking place, and we're boggled down.
Right.
I'm going to put this out there. Shame on the media. This topic, utilizing this, and maybe even like they did, all of the black shootings that took place, by cops, or Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. They took all of that to deter our.
Right.
Shame on them for utilizing that harassment to shift our focus away from what's really going on over here.
Absolutely.
Harassment is something that should not ever be tolerated.
No.
And if any event, I'm going to all of our viewers over there on Facebook, any of those that follow you on IntellectualRadio.com or YouTube, if you happen to be visible harassment, if you have something taking place, speak up. Everyone deserves a comfortable work environment. Everybody deserves deserves to live their life with friends and family and enjoy it. Remember, right? We only get one that we remember. So definitely, if you casually see harassment, and this being all sexual harassment, but outside of that, any type of harassment, any type of verbal harassment, any type of racial harassment, whatever the case may be, make sure that you're telling somebody. If you're at work, talk to your HR department, call anonymously. And if you happen to be a victim of it, reach out to, whatever facets that you can to speak up about it, because it definitely is, you're warranted and you need to. And it's the time that we live in that it's time out for being quiet.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank my guest co-host, Miss Marlena. Thank you so much for hanging.
Thank you for having me.
And it's been a pleasure. Make sure that you all, again, are checking out all of the wonderful sponsors. Check out Mind Over Matter. Check out the Bureau Bar. Make sure you look as well, and Cookout on Wheels. Special thanks to Our Young Enterprises for producing Rix Room. Make sure that you check out Our Young Enterprises on Facebook. They're providing resources for engagements, artistic development, personal image consulting, and one-on-one life coaching. Reach out and schedule some catering for your upcoming holiday events. Contact Al at 773-220-9869 or email. Either of the two will get you in touch with them, but Al Young is making sure that good sounded good. In addition to Mr. Earl back there, Intellectual Radio sounded good. Dana Dane is up next. She's got her band of people, and Dana Dane always has a fun show, so make sure you're tuning in and checking her out. It's been a pleasure having you in the room. Come back and see us again next Wednesday and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and have a great rest. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers.